You're listening to Short Inspirations from Ralph, Snakes and Ladders, Part 5. In this podcast series, we've been looking at that board game, Snakes and Ladders, we used to play when we were kids. And we've been likening that to James chapter 1, verse 13 to 15, where it talks about the downward slope from temptation to desire to enticement, conception, and on it goes. The snake, if you like. But we've also put another template there, and that's the ladder, the going up, the desire that is a good godly desire, the calling from God, the voice of God, the revelation from God, going upwards. But now we're going to look at the next step, which is that unpopular word called sin, because conception gives birth to sin. If that's the snake, it's sin. If it's the ladder, it's righteousness. And we're going to talk about that. So it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it's full grown, gives birth to death. And that's the next step. The word sin, as we've mentioned, seems to be so repulsive these days because it implies responsibility for one's own actions or muck-ups, rather than blaming someone else, transferring the blame. It wasn't my fault. We hear it all the time in this world that we live in. To sin is to break God's laws. Read the 10 Commandments. There's to be no other gods. Don't worship graven images and idols. No killing, no adultery, no stealing. It results in destruction when we break those laws, but also the destruction of a potential life or the opportunities that are before us. It shuts us down. Sin does that. Something that's stolen from us or destroyed. I believe that Eve, when she wandered into the garden, said to Adam, I'm just going out for a while, it won't be long. I believe that desire lingered in her heart long before the fruit of the tree was even touched. Her self-talk would have been, it won't hurt me to at least see it. What's wrong with just looking or even touching? It's like trying to give up gambling but spending all your days at the TAB. And so we see in 1 John 2:16, for everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life comes not from the Father, but from the world. Here it is, the lust of the flesh. The issue here really is that all have sinned. There is no one anywhere who is righteous, not even one person. But in the middle of this, I want to bring you tremendous news, incredibly good news. We can be forgiven. It doesn't matter what you've done, how far you've gone, how depraved it may be. You can be forgiven. You can be washed and cleansed and redeemed, made perfect. You can be justified through Jesus Christ. All you have to do is come to him with an open heart, repent of your sin, take responsibility for it, and he will forgive you. And it's amazing when you think about that, because the start of healing and restoration and restoring a person to righteousness comes from admitting your failure. So bring that to him. And actually, I'll finish off with this. When we're talking about the ladder here, righteousness, it's not us that makes us righteous. It's not doing good deeds or whatever that makes us righteous. It's actually Jesus Christ. He makes us righteous. That's an incredible rung in the ladder. God bless you today.